Every legend leaves a trace. Some linger in memory, others in things that were never meant to fall into human hands. In the Myths Belief Store, you'll find artifacts, talismans, and relics steeped in the darkness of ancient faiths. Enter if you dare to touch what is forgotten and terrifying. Link in the description. In every mythology, there are figures who carry more shadow than light. But few stories are as dark, as primal, as the tale of Cain. A man who, according to some traditions, was not a man at all. It is a story of anger that turned into tragedy, of the first murder that forever changed the fate of humanity, and of a mark that became a symbol of eternal damnation. Cain is the first human to spill human blood. The Bible says that when God accepted Abel's offering and rejected Cain's, a fire began to grow inside him. It smoldered slowly, like embers under ash, until it finally erupted. He lured his brother into a field and killed him, the first murder in human history. For this crime he was cursed. The earth would no longer yield its fruit for him, and he was condemned to wander forever. He could not return home, he could not find peace, and he could not die by the hand of man. God placed a mysterious mark on him, the Mark of Cain, meant to protect him from being killed. The Bible never explains what it looked like, but traditions speak of a glow, a symbol, or an inhuman aura that frightened both people and spirits. Some believed that even Cain's gaze could inspire fear. Cain left the land near Eden and went east, into the land of Nod, a name that literally means wandering. There, paradoxically, he founded the first city in history, naming it after his son, Enoch, as if trying to build something permanent in a world that had rejected him. It was from Cain's line that the first farmers, metalworkers, musicians, and craftsmen emerged. His descendants, Jubal, Jabal, and Tubal-Cain, became the creators of instruments, herding, and metallurgy. They were the ones who brought fire, sound, and steel into the world. But according to tradition, it was also the line of Cain that led humanity into corruption before the flood, violence, pride, weapons, magic, and depravity. People said that the same wildness, the same fire that burned in Cain, flowed through their veins. Cain became a symbol of a man who carries darkness within, and his legacy was believed to bring shadow upon the world. His death is just as dark. According to the apocryphal book of Jasher, Cain was accidentally killed by his own descendant, Lamech, who mistook him for an animal while hunting. A single arrow ended the life of the man who had begun the history of violence. Thus ends the story of the first murderer slain by the very bloodline he created. But in Apocrypha and Midrashic texts, an even darker version appears. Cain was not the son of Adam, but of Samael, the angel of darkness and God's executioner. Samael is said to have deceived Eve, taking the form of the serpent, and from that encounter Cain was conceived. This is why Cain was different from the beginning. He did not fit into the world of humans. His anger was too fierce, his emotions too sharp, his nature too predatory. He inherited the essence of a destroying angel, volatility, lack of empathy, a violent temperament. Kabbalah describes it symbolically. Abel was light, Cain was fire, fire that never rests. Fire that can warm, but can also burn everything it touches. In this interpretation, Cain did not kill Abel out of human weakness, but because the inhuman force of Samael flowed in his blood. It explains his rage, his brutality, and why God had to mark him not only as punishment, but as protection from a being who was not fully human. Here, Cain becomes not just a murderer, but a hybrid, a creature standing between the world of humans and the realm of angels of darkness. The figure of Cain, the cursed brother, the first murderer, the marked wanderer, appears throughout pop culture. In literature, he shows up in works like East of Eden by John Steinbeck, where the entire story revolves around the symbolism of Cain and Abel, or in the Book of Nod, a dark apocryphon from the vampire, the Masquerade universe, where Cain is portrayed as the first vampire, the father of all nocturnal beings. In comics, he appears in Neil Gaiman's Lucifer and the Sandman as an immortal guardian and archetypal murderer, a figure who understands the weight of his own mark. In video games, The motif of Cain runs through Legacy of Cain, where the name becomes a symbol of curse, blood, and damnation. Even in TV series like Supernatural, Cain appears as a powerful, immortal being bearing a dark mark that grants him strength, but strips away his humanity. In pop culture, Cain is no longer just a biblical character. He has become an icon of darkness, guilt, and endless wandering. Cain is one of the most mysterious figures in ancient belief. Was he simply a man consumed by jealousy? Or a hybrid, the son of Eve and an angel of darkness? Was his mark a punishment or a shield? And was Cain the first anti-hero in human history? Let me know in the comments how you interpret this story. If you enjoy dark myths and apocryphal tales, leave a like, subscribe, and join me in the next episode of Myths and Beliefs.